Hello and welcome to another video. So today I am showing you this package that I got from Plum Paper. I got this during their Teachers Appreciation Week sale, and so I was really excited because I decided to go with Plum Paper for my teacher planner next year. Last year I did use an Erin Condren teacher planner, and that was largely by accident. When I bought the Erin Condren teacher planner, it was to use as a weekly planner just for my personal life. But then I got a teaching job at the last minute, and so that meant that I repurposed it for its original designed usage and actually used it for lesson planning. And at some point when I rescue it from my office at school, I will do a full review on how I used it, whether I liked using it, etc. As you can see, I'm not using it again, so that review has some pros and some cons, and we'll get to that when we get to it. But I did decide to go with Plum Paper for next year, and so we'll just get into this. I have already opened it and looked through some things, made sure everything was in there, and then did some things like put sticky notes over my personal information, especially my planner, which is personalized with my full name and my school on it. So setting it off to the side, by the way, Plum Paper packages come with this super thick bubble wrap, and then you open it and everything's in there. Something I didn't expect for this planner, and I don't know if it was because of the promotion, I did buy it during Teachers Appreciation Week, meant that the planner was 20% off, I believe. But one of the first things that I noticed were these two sticker sheets. They are freebies. I did not buy them, so they included those. And these are more or less name tag things to and from, things for cards, and then some more general things like a reminder and to do and things like that. I really like the color scheme of these stickers. So those things came. Then I had a couple of goals that weren't associated with the sale. So something I really wanted to buy from Plum Paper were these book bands. I don't like my folio. It gets in the way, and I don't know if I'm ever going to use it. Maybe I will, but for now I kind of hate it. But I still wanted to have something that was going to keep my planner closed when I was using it and taking it from place to place whenever I need to do that again. And secondly, I wanted to be able to have something to hold it closed when I eventually store it, especially with my daily planner, which is 6 months at a time now. So that means that I'm going to be storing it more frequently than if I had a year-long planner. And I just wanted to have something that would hold it all together, especially because I can see my planner starting to chunk up now because of the stickers and washi tape that I use. So I bought these book bands to help hold it together. And they had a couple of different colors. I bought this set that came with a teal one and a pink one, mostly for the pink one. And something I noticed about all the Plum Paper accessories that I bought this time is that they are so well packaged. It's nice. It feels very sturdy. All right, so I got these two book bands. And the website says that it fits all their planners. Plum Paper does have planners A5, 7x9, and then 8.5x11. My planner is an A5. I have it here. So let's just see how this fits. They also have book bands that are pencil cases. So they do have a book band that goes around your planner and then also has a little place to store your pens. So it fits. It kind of just perfectly fits the A5 right now, so I didn't really have to stretch it to get it over the planner, but it is holding everything together, and as I use my planner more, it will get chunkier and it'll stretch a bit more, and so I'm glad that this is going to be able to hold everything together the way that I need it to. Yeah, so that's going to work just fine. I got two of them. I'm glad that it came in a pack of two because I'm going to use one for my daily planner and one for my teacher planner. So I'll put those off to the side for now. Then, because I really wanted those, I wanted to also get the 15% off that Plum Paper offers if you buy 3 or more accessories. And it turned out that I had the perfect other thing that I wanted to pick up while I was placing this order. And that is 2 snap-in bookmarks for my planner. 1 for my teacher planner, 1 for my A5 daily planner. And I love that Erin Condren planners come with something like this for free. I did have to buy these. These were $3 each, I believe, and I think this was like $8 or so. And so that was kind of not as great because it seems like the kind of thing that's really nice to just kind of put with the planner. For reference, my Erin Condren ruler. This is a ruler I got last year, and I wanted the Plum Paper one because this ruler is a lot bigger and it actually hangs off the edges of my A5 planner, whereas these rulers are designed for Plum Paper planners, taking the A5 into account, and so I'm hoping that it's not going to have like a ton of overhang. We're going to test it right now. This is also super sturdily packaged. I find that kind of wild. I don't know why I'm so shocked. Except that now I can't open it. Okay. So here's the ruler. Like the Erin Condren's, you have like this, there's a plastic film on it that I won't remove right now. And if we turn to any day in my planner, May just started. It's super sturdy, so it should just snap in. Wow, I'm so bad at, okay. As you can see, I messed it up already, and that's a problem I've had with other rulers like this. I'm really bad at putting them in right, and so I bend the teeth. So this tooth right here is actually quite bent now, and it's probably going to break on me super soon. I feel like that's more me than the rulers though, because I had the same problem with like the Erin Condren rulers, and like people use those all the time and they don't have any problems, but I've had so many problems. So there's that. And something I noticed while trying to put it on is that the teeth are actually wide enough that you don't really have to bend and snap. So I was putting this in like I would an Erin Condren ruler. Do I still have my ruler? I don't know where I put it. But anyway, it's slightly more flexible, and so I was like bending it and like wanting to push it in, but really it kind of slips in there, and I'd assume that it kind of just peels off when you take it out. So that's something to notice about this ruler, and like I would say be careful when you're putting it into your planner, is that these little gaps, you don't want to be really bending them and shoving them through the spiral. I think it seems to be working a lot better if you push and pull instead of like bend and snap. So I'm gonna try it again. All right, that's the method I'm probably going to use for this. We'll see how long that lasts and if it works, or if I just break it and that's not the way you're supposed to use it. But now I have today here and my weekly tracker thingy here. And right now, since the first part of this week was in April, this weekly spread is still in April, but eventually this is going to be behind my today bookmark. And I can keep it closed because I really want to be able to have my planner closed so that I can admire the cover. Right now, I don't get to see it at all. That makes me kind of sad. All right. Those are the accessories. A free gift with purchase during the teacher appreciation sale was this notepad. They called it a teacher folio notepad. I didn't buy a folio because I hate them, as I mentioned earlier in the video. But the notepad came for free. They do have them on their website to purchase separately. They are $8, and it said that there's about 40 sheets per notepad. I'm very intrigued by this. It is a teacher-specific notepad, and I can see that in that there are things that I wish I had. So you have a place for the date, priorities duty, morning or afternoon. I don't know what that means. I feel like depending on your school, that can differ. I'm thinking something like cafeteria duty or car line duty, or if students have to wait before or after school in like a certain place to, or for their parents to pick them up, like chaperone that area. For me at a boarding school, it would probably indicate when I have evening duty, that kind of thing. So it's very general, but also I think applicable in many situations. So I really like that. Then they have a section for to-dos, a section for things that need to be graded, and then to copy and print. These two sections I love because I find my to-do list getting extremely long in my personal planner when I have a lot to grade, and then I have to write every individual thing down because I don't want to forget it. And so having a designated space for that is really nice. A notepad like this honestly tempts me quite a lot to drop the daily planner, go to a weekly planner for my personal life, and then have my teacher planner plus a notepad for my day at school. I don't think I'm going to do that anytime soon, but I like the idea and I really like this notepad. But it is one-sided only, and it has this like cardboard on the back. So there's that. They also have a couple of extra styles. That's just the one that came for free. And then this is my planner. I'm so excited. So, and also a little disappointed, but I'll talk about that in a second. So I went with the 7x9 size. One of the things that annoyed me about my Erin Condren planner this year is that it is so big. It is 8.5 by 11 inches, and it is just insane to carry around, to move around, to lay it on my desk. It was taking up so much space all the time, and I hated it. Another thing that I hated about the Erin Condren planner is that it's, I guess, horizontal. So it has the days of the week going down vertically on one side with 6 subjects across the 2-page spread. And that means that on a given day, if I want to be able to glance at what each of my classes are doing or like remind myself what I planned for that day, I had to leave it open and like look across. Whereas I would much rather be able to see it on one page and look down. Now, if it weren't so big, maybe that wouldn't be as much of a problem, but because it's so big, having to have it all the way spread open to see my whole day got really, really annoying for me. All I wanted was just to be able to flip it over and see my day, and one day at a time. I love the coils because you can flip them behind themselves and only take up the space of one page. That's why I love my daily planner, and it's why I love having a coiled planner, but the Erin Condren planner wasn't letting me do that. Plum paper, however, has several different layouts to choose from, and one of them is this. So this is a layout that has your subjects here vertically and then your days horizontally. So each box here is a subject or a topic or whatever. I usually teach only a couple of classes, so I break my boxes up into things like topic for the day, classwork, homework, and then that's it. I imagine that's what I'll do next year too. But I did not personalize this because I wasn't 100% sure how I wanted to do this and what subjects I was going to teach and how the curriculum and the schedule that my new school was going to ask me to follow would fit into my planner. And I wanted to have the freedom to change these blocks as necessary depending on what my responsibilities became next year. So you have that. There are a few things I don't like, but let me finish highlighting the overall aspects. You have a to-do list for the week, which I like. I like that this is here. A section for notes. I don't know why that's there. I would have preferred to have just more to-do space. 2 little blocks for the weekend, which I kind of like because I can imagine myself needing to do something over the weekend, like grade something, and wanting to just note during the school day, oh, remember to do this on Saturday, and then later I'll put that in my personal planner. Or maybe there's a school event that I want to make sure to go to, that kind of thing. And then a box here for prep work, which is nice, but I don't know if I'll really use it. I guess we'll see. And then this little colored bar down here that I don't understand at all. I don't know what it's for. I guess, I don't know, notes, more notes? I don't know. I think this is kind of weird. Here are the things that are disappointing to me. When you see 8 blocks, 4 on each page spread in a 7x9 planner, I feel like it's become standard to kind of assume, oh, those blocks are probably about 1.5 inches wide because Erin Condren has kind of made that the standard. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'd hoped to get from this. I hoped that these boxes would be 1.5 inches wide because my 8.5 by 11 was too big. But I thought 1.5 inches wide would be wide enough and that would suit my needs. However, I was disappointed to find that these boxes are narrower. So between the line over here on this side, it's actually 1.5 inches across all the way to the first line of the next day over here. And the actual spacing of a single box is more like 1 3/8 across. I find that to be an awkward spacing, especially because the spread starts so far from the coil. What is this white space? And why is it here? And why is it not being used? Why can't all these boxes be 1/8 of an inch bigger so that I can have full use of this page and also a little more writing space, and also I can use like the stickers that I already have for Erin Condren layouts here. I don't know why they did that. Second thing that bothers me is that the subjects boxes take up so much space. What I really wish I had seen, and I might even adapt to do something like this next year, is the me planner where they have the 6 boxes and you can put a label for each of the boxes. Those labels take up like 1/4 of an inch on the side right here. And they do that because they need to be able to fit 7 days across. Here with Saturday and Sunday stacked, I guess they just took this and made it bigger. But I don't know. I don't like that necessarily. That being said, I can imagine uses for it. I can imagine having your subjects and then like other notes there if something's happening. No, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to use it. So those are the things I don't like about the planner. That being said, it's smaller than the Erin Condren and it's cheaper than the Erin Condren. It's cheaper to start with. I think that this planner starts at... So a 12-month teacher planner on Plum paper starts at $35. The base planner starts at $23 if you get just a 6-month planner. I don't know why I'd want a 6-month teacher planner. So they add $12 if you decide to make it last the whole year. So in total, it starts at $35 and then you decide if you want add-ons or if you want to pay to customize this. I didn't. And the standard layout is blank. If you want to add customization to this section, it's an extra $4. So $35 to $39 plus any add-ons you add. Still between $35 and $45 probably, I would expect for most people when you're ordering a teacher planner. The Erin Condren one starts at $55, I believe. So it was much cheaper. And that is the thing that made the decision for me, because honestly, at the end of the day, my teacher planner was just a place to jot down notes. It was a place to paste in sticky notes and to move things around and scratch things out and to plan classes, which change kind of a lot depending on how students receive a lesson and how fast or how slow they pick up on something relative to how fast or slow I thought they would pick up on it. And so having to do that kind of adjustment and stuff all the time means that my teacher planner is not a place that needs to be pretty. It isn't a place that needs to be like the most sturdy, thick paper or anything like that, like the Erin Condren has going on. I just really need it to be fairly affordable, and I need it to have a layout that I think can work for me. And that was this planner. Other things that I considered were like the Happy Planner, but those discs really irritate me. So I'm willing to pay a bit more for my own comfort, you know, like I can't be irritated every time I open it, but I do want it to ultimately be relatively cheap. And I found the Plum paper planner to be pretty cheap, especially when you take into account the fact that they did have a sale when I bought this. It was 20% off, I think. And so after all of that, it was only like $28. After the sale, my planner was $28, and I thought that was really reasonable for the whole year. And it really is a tool that I need. So I'll take you through the other features. I kind of jumped to the weekly view and got on my soapbox a little bit I'll show you the features. So I got this pink floral cover, and something that I'm really excited about this year is that I know very well in advance that I am going to have a teaching job next year. The one I got this year kind of came out of nowhere and super suddenly. And so I had my original teacher planner cover personalized with just my full name because I thought it was going to be a personal planner. This time I was able to personalize it as I would have wanted a teacher planner to be personalized. So here it just says my last name because that is how students address me at school. And down here I was able to put the school's name and then the years, 2021 for the academic year next year. And I love that. I'm so excited that I got to do that this year. When you open it, you have this like info page where it says just teacher planner, and then this planner belongs to. You have the full layout for 2020 and 2021. You have a special dates section here. And then that same unmarked section that's very identical here, that's in all of the Plum paper planners. A blank notes page, and then you start your weekly and monthly spreads. So the Plum paper teacher planners, like their regular personal planners, can be started in any month. I decided to start mine in July because by July I will have moved to the new town that my school is located in, and I will probably be looking for curriculum materials and to get familiar with as much about the school as I can. That may or may not be affected with the current virus situation and whether I will be able to come onto campus or not at the time. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I wanted to have my planner start in July so that if I wanted to write down some notes for work, I had that space already. In the 7x9 teacher planner, you can choose to make it colorful or neutral. I picked the colorful version. Like the personal planners, they have this section for birthdays, events, things to remember, and goals. A notes page. A monthly view that does have some holidays already put in for you, but not a ton of them. And then your weekly spread. Plum paper in the personal planners and in the teacher planner does do a thing where every week or every possible day of the month is in your month tab. That means that on something like this, here, these are the last couple of days of June and they are grayed out. In June, if I had started this earlier, I would have had another spread with these exact same dates and this side would have been grayed out. And I'll show you more about what that looks like in a second. I did not add anything to this planner. So everything I'm about to show you is what comes with the teacher planner from Plum paper before any add-ons. So you get another notes page. And here you can see it. So Saturday and Sunday are the first 2 days of August. This full week of July is full color. These are grayed out. When you get into August, these are grayed out. These 2 days have the color. So you have your weeks in here twice. I'm probably going to just end up ignoring one of the weeks and moving on with my life. Yeah, probably what I'll do. You do get a little calendar for every month up at the top. And then it just keeps going all the way through all the months. I was excited to see the last quarter kind of colors because right now the planner I have goes from March through August, and so I didn't know what colors they used for the latter part of the year. But now I do. And I'll just flip through them so that you can see the colors. And then because I ordered a 12-month planner, mine ends in June. And then every teacher planner has this class tab already added onto it. It's part of the teacher planner. It's just an add-on, and it has a few specialized pages. This is why I didn't get something like just a regular me planner, like a personal planner, and then adapt it to my needs to get rid of the fact that I didn't like this weird use of space here. I didn't do that because I really wanted this section, and maybe I could have added it to that planner, but at the time I wasn't thinking about it. And also the teacher planner specifically was what was on sale when I bought it. So I'm going to try this next year. I might adapt the year after. You start with a goals page and then a year at a glance. I like this. I think I'm going to use this section to outline units. So dates that I think we should cover certain units in or get through certain content, and then just kind of map things out here. That's what I think I'm going to use this section for. Over here you have my class schedule and a place to mark all of that. Important information for a substitute. Let's see. Field trips and special events. I teach high school, so I don't know how much I will use these sections. I've gone on one field trip this year, and that was with 9th grade. Here, a volunteer list. Classroom resources. Classroom expenses. A behavior log. Parent communication. Student contacts. I don't know what this is about. It gives you 24 total student logs. Maybe that's enough if you teach elementary school and you only have one section, one class, one set of students. But I don't. I fully expect to have 3 to 4 sections, 10 to 15 students each. So, and that's not even a lot. I teach at a small school. So other teachers have way more, and they aren't keeping track of all of this. And this kind of stuff is in a computer, and why would I put it written down here for it to get like lost, you know? So I don't understand this page. I don't see myself using it. Here you have a place for student health information. Here, a page for professional development, a page for passwords, and then next year's goals and kind of a reflection page here. Then you also get a checklists tab, and I counted how many are here, but I forgot, so I'll count again. So you get 10 sheets or 20 pages, front and back, and for each of those you get 17 assignment slots across 20 pages is something like 340 assignment slots, and you have room for 30 students. I don't know if I'll use this. I might, just because it's easier for me to write it down here and then transfer it into an online gradebook. I've never tried using a page like this, but I probably will, especially because for whatever reason, if I'm trying to grade papers by hand, just on my desk and then enter the grades on a gradebook, every now and again I forget to do it. So having to kind of stop here first to write those grades in so that I don't lose track of anything might actually be quite helpful. Then you get a dot grid page, another dot grid page on the back of which is another passwords page. That's a little redundant. This is a passwords page that is standard for personal planners, and then this other passwords page is part of the school add-on. So like if you didn't have the school add-on, you would have this. So now you have 2, but you got 2. Then you also have a section for contacts, just general contact sheet, another page that is in common with the personal planners, a US holidays page for through the next 3 years, a full layout of 2022, and then some stickers, which I was excited to see. I didn't order any stickers. Pretty sure I didn't. So they just came with the planner. And here you have a few more like decorative stickers, talent show, picture day, graduation, different breaks for like different seasons, grades that are due, things that are due, random decoration stickers, etc. And then on the back, these are a bit more functional. So you have a lot of things like meeting this week, staff meeting, test, start dates, if there's a sub or an exam, when report cards are due, early release days, classes and assemblies, the first day of school, the last day of school, an event sticker, and then a bit of washi. At the back, you have this envelope and then a page protector. And I feel like I didn't add the page protector because I wouldn't have wanted to pay for it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have no add-ons. So it does come with a little page protector. And then your back cover, which here you can appreciate in its full glory because I don't have my sticky notes on that side. And at last, we've come to the end of that flip through. I want to see how the band fits. Surprisingly well. I was surprised. I was expecting to have to stretch it more. So you don't have to stretch it too much either on the 5x7. I mean the 7x9, which is very similar in size to the A5. It's like a hair bigger. For comparison, it's just a teeny bit taller. The difference really is in the width right here. For more reference, this is an Erin Condren planner. And Plum paper is a smidgen wider, the tiniest smidgen. Yeah, the pages are about the same width. And the EC coil is a hair bigger. I don't know if this is focusing great. So hopefully that gives you some ideas about dimensions. I would assume that those dimensions are common for any 7x9 Plum paper planner, not necessarily just the teacher planner. This is the teacher planner I will be taking into next year. I will be back with a full review of the Erin Condren planner after having used it for a year, and I will also probably do some kind of setup with this or give you an idea of how I'm going to start using it once I know a bit more about what my school and teaching situation is going to look like next year. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!